Lex Miner. Welcome back to Miner Disc Golf. Today I'm going to be taking you through my 2022 Team Trilogy in the bag. Let's do it. Alright, so I'm going to start off with my putting putters. Right now, I'm putting with Zero Hard daggers. I really like these. They're deep with the bead, and I've really been enjoying them. Nice straight with a reliable fade. Some throwing putters. Alright, I have two judges. I have a Fusion Judge and a Lucid Judge. I like these because they're pretty shallow in my hand, and I like the bead. It feels really good in my hand. Don't know which one I'm really going to be going to that much, but just really been liking them. Really straight, really glidey, again with that reliable fade. For short upshots or hyzer flip forehands, I use a BT Hard Shield. Click up there if you want to see the review I did on it. And it's really straight, but it doesn't have as much glide as the Judge does, so I can trust it not to glide past the basket on those shorter upshots. Then I have two harps. I have a Rigio harp and a really cool Matt Oram VIP harp. I use the Rigio one for more of my backhand overstable upshots, or like forehand turnovers. And I have the VIP harp that I just picked up today, and it's very overstable. I use it for mostly forehands with a reliable fade at the end, so it's my go-to forehand upshot disc. Alright, let's go on to my mids. Throwing mids wasn't really a strength of mine before I started throwing all these Trilogy discs, and now I love mids. It's a very strong part of my game. So from flippy to overstable, have an Opto Sparkle Fuse, and this thing's kind of like almost like an Ultimate Frisbee. It's really touchy, and it kind of just does the same thing no matter how you throw it. It doesn't really even burn over to the right. It just has a slow drift over to the right, and it's good for also if I'm kind of in a weird stance. I know I can still trust this thing to get a hyzer flip. Then my favorite mold in my bag is the Emac Tree. I bagged 3 different plastics. I have a Fusion X, a Lucid, and a Fusion, which I've aced with. I'll start with the Fusion. This one is almost as flippy as that Fuse, but not quite. So I can trust this one to hyzer flip, turn a little bit, and then have a reliable fade at the end. It's so beautiful when it's flying in the air. I love that thing. Then the Lucid Emac. This one is exactly what I've been wanting in a mid-range. I can throw it flat, and it'll just go straight and have a touch of fade at the end, and I just love it. Dead straight. Then I have a Fusion X, which is, I don't know if you can hear this, it's very domey, very pop-toppy, and it's not crazy overstable. It's not as overstable as a Verdict, but it's almost like if the Verdict had a little bit more glide. So it just wants to stay in the air a little bit longer, but I can also throw it on Touch of Annie, and I know it's always going to come out. Now I have the Verdict. This one it's pretty overstable. Before I got that VIP harp, I was throwing this for most of my forehand upshots. Now it'll probably be my longer forehands or when fighting backhand shots. Those are all my mids. Let's go to my fairway. I have 5 fairway drivers in my bag, from flippy to overstable again. I have super crazy flippy Opto Air River. This is the flippiest disc I've ever thrown in my life. I can throw it on spike hyzer angles that will just flip over. And I wouldn't want to see what a headwind could do to this disc, because it would just eat it up totally bad. It's just so flippy. Then probably my go-to roller disc and hyzer flip disc is the Goldline Sapphire, and all these are in a lighter weight. I think, yeah, this one's 159. So I throw this one for hyzer flip turns that come out a little bit at the end, and also for rollers about on this angle, it'll flip up. Really good disc. And then I have the Lucid Gidway. I put this in my bag because I've heard a bunch of people talk about it and they loved it. And it's a very good disc. It doesn't feel really good in my hand, but it flies really good. I can throw it really hard and flat and it'll just go straight and then have that reliable thing at the end. I have two Felons. I have a Lucid and a Fusion X. And the only reason I really bag two is because I like to throw this one for forehands and this one's for backhands. Because this one's really flat topped and then this one has a little bit of dome. And they're both really overstable, so I use this one for mostly forehand flex shots and forehand skip shots. And then this one basically the same thing, but for backhands. Really, really love the Felon. That's all my fairways. Let's go to my distance. These are my distance drivers. And I don't know if these would be considered distance drivers or fairways, so they're kind of just hybrid drivers. I have the First Strike Royal Line Grace and a Fusion Sergeant, both 11 speeds. And this one, the Sergeant, is kind of, it's like a further Felon almost, but it's just not as overstable. So I can throw this one super hard and flat and it'll go straight and then have a really hard dump at the end. And also for forehands, it's probably my go-to just forehand disc in general. Then the Grace, really love this disc. It's very, very straight. I can just throw it flat and it'll just go straight and then have a touch of fade at the end. All right, on to my big distance drivers. I have two 13 speeds. I have an Opto-X Havoc and a Lucid Sparkle Raider. The Havoc, I don't throw this one a ton. It feels really good in my hand, but I tend to throw it whenever I need, like, my ballistas are too flippy and my Raider's too stable and I just need kind of a straight shot. I'll pull the Opto-X Havoc out. It doesn't come out of the bag a ton, but I know I can trust it when it does come out of the bag. The Raider. This has been a great disc for me. I know I can throw it really hard and flat and it'll go straight and then have that harsh dump at the end. Great disc. I can even throw in a little bit of Annie and it'll get a really good flex and just go really far. But not as far as the Opto Chameleon Ballistas. These go so far. I get max distance out of them. I have two in the bag just in case I were to lose one. Because if I were to lose one of these, I would be in big trouble. So I like throwing them on a hyzer and they flip up and turn for a while and then come out, but they're really touchy, so if you don't get the angle right, they'll either burn over or hyzer. So they're touchy, but when you get them on the right angle, these things just go. And really recommend trying the Opto Chameleon Ballistas out because they go so far. Then my Wind Fighter or Spike Hyzer disc is the Opto Ballista Pro. This thing is a very domey pop top, if you can hear that, and I really like it for just shots that I know I can throw really hard and flat into a headwind. It might turn a little bit, but it's just gonna have a really hard dump at the end into a headwind. So if there's no wind, I know I can just throw it on out to the right and it's just gonna crash into the ground. Very overstable, but you can also get some good distance out of it. It's not like it has no glide. It still glides really far, but just really overstable. All right, I have one utility disc in my bag. The Lucid Justice. This thing is crazy overstable. I've always liked to have something in my bag that was just so overstable that nothing could flip it over, and that's what this disc is. The numbers are 5, 1, 0.54, so it's just crazy, no glide, and it just dumps super hard. Leave a comment down below if you want me to do a review on this. It's just so overstable. Alright, I have a few other discs here that are kind of backup, so I'll just run through these real quick. I have a AJ Risley Hybrid Warden if I were to lose one of my judges, because I don't have any more judges right now, so this will go in the bag if I were to lose one of those. I have a backup Justice just in case I were to lose it. This is a Lucid X EMAC Truth, really cool looking disc, but it's a little bit beaten, so it's still overstable, but not as stable as it used to be. It's kind of just my backup for my Fusion X EMAC. Then I have a Lucid Felon to be the backup of my Lucid Felon that's in my bag. And then I have 2 Pioneers here, and one of these would probably go in the bag if I was to lose my Fusion X Felon, because the Pioneer is just a little bit more overstable than the Felon usually. I have a Lucid Sparkle Escape. This thing's kind of in the middle of like a Getaway and a Sapphire, so it's really straight, but I guess, I don't know, some courses require that disc, so certain courses I might throw it in the bag. Then a disc I just picked up today, really cool dyed Lucid Raider, and this one might go in the bag sometime. I'll give you a closer look on that one. It's just so cool. Really cool dye on that. It might go in the bag because I really like the feel of it for 4 hands. I would throw my Raider for 4 hands, but it's just really domey. This one's a little bit flatter, so I'll just have to test it and see if it'll make the bag. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Comment below what videos you would like to see in the future, and comment below if you loved the video, and give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm Lex Miner, and I'll see you.